Welcome back. You're watching Center Stage. 27-year-old Sonali Mukherjee was left blind and almost deaf after an acid attack on her 9 years ago. For 9 years, nothing moved. No help came her way. It was only after Headlines Today took up her case that things have started looking up. Headlines Today initiated a campaign to garner support for Sonali's reconstruction surgeries, and that is now bearing fruit. Now, Sonali has found her first big sponsor in Mumbai. Uday Pratap Singh gets you this report.
A few days ago, Sonali wanted to die, victim of a terrible acid attack. For 9 painful years, life had been one constant struggle for her. Sonali and her family spent everything they had, over 12 lakh rupees, on 22 surgeries to save her life and body. But she still needed major reconstruction treatment. That is when Headlines Today stepped in and took up Sonali's cause. And slowly, help has started coming in.
The money we'll collect. So I spoke to my friends who are always supported us. I spoke to Mr. Mehul Choksi. Within 30 seconds, he has given rupees 10 lakhs. Mr. Ramesh Torani of Tips, he also instantly sent me a 50,000 check. And Shashi Ranjan, my husband, he instantly said, as of right now, in the last 2 hours, let's say we've collected 11 lakhs, just on phones.
Well, as we are associated with this Beti project, we would like every woman to be beautiful.
Acid attacks should be, I think, it should be condemned by all. And the people who are involved in this, they should be hanged.
A set of complicated surgeries will be performed on Sonali in Delhi's B.L. Kapoor Super Speciality Hospital. Heading the procedure will be Dr Sanjeev Bagai, with assistance from his team of 20 experienced doctors. Sonali needs reconstruction treatment for her eyes, neck, ears and forehead.
So what we have done is we've constituted a very high-level team of doctors of various specialities, which includes Dr. Bhat and Dr. Singhal, the ophthalmic department, Dr. Naina, and many other consultants associated, so that we can have a comprehensive multidisciplinary team.
A lot of work has been done on her at various hospitals, and now still she has got a lot of problems. She has got many functional problems, some cosmetic problems also.
Sonali Mukherjee became the victim of harassment by 3 men. The assaulters threw acid on her face and crippled her for life. But Sonali has fought on for 9 years and now she finally has hope.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. मैं इतने बड़े डॉक्टरों से मिल रही हूँ. मैंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था कि मैं इतने अच्छे डॉक्टरों से अपना ट्रीटमेंट करा पाऊंगी. I'm so lucky and thank you all of doctors and you all. Thanks Headlines Today and all my donators and sponsors.
Headlines Today को क्या कहेंगे? Headlines Today का हमारा साक्षात भगवान के रूप में आया, जो गॉड के रूप में आए हमारे आए हैं Headlines Today, जो हमारे सब दर्शकों का देखेंगे और जाने कि 30 lakhs rupees is not minimum. It is not possible from my side, never in my life. That is now going to success, and so much I am pleased. I just sympathy, your sympathies are heavenly.
But what about the institutions specially designed to help such victims? Both the government and the National Commission for Women have turned what seems to be a blind eye to Sonali's plight.
Headlines Today has taken the initiative and brought Sonali here to Dr. Sanjeev Bagai and the team at the BLK Super Speciality Hospital. Today's meeting was to evaluate Sonali and initially identify what all procedures will be required. The team, after examining her, is confident of a significant recovery. There will be 6 teams of about 20 doctors working on her, and the recovery period should be about 12 months. With camera person Vishal, Uday Pratap Singh in New Delhi for Headlines Today.
She has fought for 9 long years. Sonali Mukherjee joins me on Center Stage. Also with me is Chandidas Mukherjee, Sonali's father. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, CEO, Dean and Director, Radiant Life Care. Dr. A.S. Bath, he is the head of the Department of Plastic Surgeries at B.L. Kapoor Hospital. Joining me from Mumbai is Anu Ranjan. She is the founder of Beti and editor of Great Magazine. Sonali, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा कि पिछले हफ्ते आप ये कह रही थी कि अब तो कोई होप नहीं रही है, आप ये चाहती थी कि आपका जीवन खत्म हो जाए। क्या आज आपको लग रहा है कि एक नई दिशा मिली है जीवन को? आज आप डॉक्टरों से मिली, कि आपको लग रहा है एक बेहतर भविष्य होगा?
बिल्कुल लग रहा है। उस निराशा से मैं निकल चुकी हूँ। मुझे यकीन नहीं होता कि मैं इतने बड़े डॉक्टर्स मेरे साथ बैठे हुए हैं। बिल्कुल सपने जैसा लगता है जब सोचती हूँ। अब नई उम्मीद है, अब नए चेहरे के साथ मुझे यकीन है कि मैं अब ठीक हो जाऊंगी। एंड आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी मुझे यहाँ बुलाया, और खासकर हेडलाइंस टुडे जो शुरू से मुहिम में मेरे साथ जुड़ा हुआ है, मेरे ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, मुझे जस्टिस के लिए लगातार प्रयास कर रहा है। एंड आज मैं इस मुकाम के हूँ कि मैं ट्रीटमेंट अपना करा सकती हूँ अच्छे डॉक्टरों के साथ। मैंने सुना था कि भगवान होता है, आज मैं भगवान के रूप में इन डॉक्टरों को देख रही हूँ। ये सच है कि डॉक्टर भगवान के ही दूसरे रूप हैं।
निश्चित तौर पर। चंडीदास जी, 9 वर्ष आप लगातार ये कह रहे थे कि आपके कंधे बहुत ज्यादा झुक रहे हैं। क्या आज ये लग रहा है कि कुछ भार शायद कम हुआ है?
बिल्कुल कम हो गया सर, बिल्कुल फ्री हो गए फिजिकली एंड मेंटली। मैंने सोचा भी कभी नहीं था कि मैं बेटी का इतना इलाज करा पाऊंगा। 9 साल जो है हमने कैसे बिताया है, उसका कोई शब्द नहीं मेरे पास जो मैं बोल पाऊं। लेकिन आज मुझे लगा कि साक्षात भगवान के रूप में आप लोग साथ हैं, ये डॉक्टर सब साथ हैं, और ये लोग जो जितने भी आए हैं मीडिया और जो भी मदद करने के लिए आगे बढ़े हैं, ये सब भगवान के ही रूप में मेरे साथ आए हैं। और मुझे उम्मीद है कि मेरे बेटे का ये दूसरा जिंदगी होगी। एक तो पुनर्जन्म है, अब जिंदगी भी दूसरी होगी। बहुत हर्ष है मुझे, और बिल्कुल मैं फ्री हो गया आज फिजिकली एंड मेंटली।
Anuranjan, how much would you need to raise for Sonali's surgery? You've been trying relentlessly. Has it been extremely difficult to raise funds for her surgery?
Difficult. In fact, I think in the last 24 hours, since I sent out the first lot of messages, I've collected over 11.5 lakhs. And while we were talking, I just got a message from another friend of mine who's given another check of 20,000. So I honestly feel that the amount that we're talking here is about 20-25, which won't be difficult. By, I think in the next 1 week or so, we should be able to get that money so she can get her treatment started. And the money we're also looking at is for rehabilitation post this. Because I was told that the President Fund has just offered 50,000. So what we decided, we rather tell them we don't want the 50,000. You rather get her a job post when we get her all right to be able to face the world, and teach her Braille in the meantime, so at least she can get started, you know, studying, reading, and at least getting to know what's happening around in the rest of the country.
You're absolutely right. A beginning needs to be made. Dr. Bagai, you examined Sonali today with a team of 20 doctors. What all is required, doctor? How do you get started now?
I think this is, right at the offset, I would like to mention that this is a very gruesome and unfortunate accident which has occurred to this young girl, and more so as a child when it occurred. And I think as human beings, I think we should lend all possible support to give her a functional and a quality life as near as normal as possible. She has received certain amount of treatment in the past, but I think a lot more needs to be done. So what we have done at our hospital, at BLK Hospital Super Speciality Group, is that we have constituted a large group which includes Dr. Bhatt, who's with me today on the show. He would be the lead surgeon. We've included ENT surgeons, critical care experts, physicians, ophthalmologists and ocular experts, because she would also require an extensive amount of surgeries after the initial surgeries done for her eyes. So our aim really is to give her some quality of life in which she can return back to normal life without a stigma. And I think that's the least which we can do for this young girl, and we will.
Yeah. And Dr. Bhatt, how long is this entire process likely to take? Will she be able to see at all? Will she be able to hear properly in the time to come?
She still has got multiple problems, both from the functional point of view and from the cosmetic point of view. And it will take almost 1 year for us to do almost 10 surgical procedures. And we are hopeful that she will be able to see, and most of her functional problem will be solved. and she will be able to lead a normal life. Of course, her face cannot be same what God had given her the face, but we will resolve a lot of problems which are still there.
What have the problems been, Dr. Bagai? What all is the restoration process, and how will you begin that?
I think the first thing would be to restore her functional ability. So she still has a lot of contractures and she has a lot of functional disabilities. So we will be trying to address that first. Her eyes, her ears, her airway would require a lot of attention because of severe burn injuries because of an acid attack. And I think Dr. Bhatt has already instituted internally a very good core team which would be attending to this. Obviously, critical care experts and respiratory experts and anesthetic experts would also come into forte. But I think this process, what is important to understand is a long process. It takes a long time for recovery. It takes a significant time for rehabilitation. And really a sincere and a very concentrated and God-willing aim is to give her some quality of life in which she can return back and get over this acute, very distressing trauma.
Sonali, जो पिछले 9 वर्ष बीते, उसमें जो हुआ और अब जो आने वाला 1 वर्ष है, जिसमें इस 1 वर्ष में आपकी तमाम सर्जरीज होंगी, उस 1 वर्ष के बारे में आप क्या सोचती हैं?
मुझे यकीन नहीं होता कि 1 वर्ष में मेरा इतना कुछ हो सकता है। ये 9 साल मैंने बहुत ही तकलीफ से गुजारे हैं, और अगर पहले मुझे ये डॉक्टर्स मिलते, आप लोगों का सपोर्ट मिलता, तो शायद आज तस्वीर कुछ और होती। मुझे अब ऐसा लग रहा है।
इन 9 वर्षों में आप कहां गई सरकार के पास और क्या-क्या जवाब मिला आपको?
बहुत ही दुख होता है मुझे कहते हुए कि मैं जिस राज्य से बिलोंग करती हूँ, उस राज्य के तमाम मुख्यमंत्री तीनों एंड ऑल एमपीज, एमएलएज, सबके पास हम गए, हमारे पिताजी गए विथ टोटल डॉक्यूमेंट, स्टिग्मेट्स, फोटोग्राफ्स, हर कोशिश करते रहे, लेकिन हमें सिर्फ निराशा ही मिली, आश्वासन मिला, जो आज तक कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। बहुत ही दुख की बात है मेरी स्टेट के लिए।
जी, अब आप आगे क्या करना चाहेंगी? 1 साल में जो सर्जरी होगी, उसके बाद आप क्या करना चाहेंगी अपने जीवन के साथ?
उसके बाद मैं चाहूंगी कि मैं सेल्फ डिपेंड हो जाऊं, क्योंकि मैं पढ़ी लिखी हूं और मेरे परिवार ने, फैमिली ने मेरे लिए इतना तो दुख और तकलीफ सहा है, तब मैं चाहती हूं कि कुछ जॉब मुझे मिल जाए ताकि मैं कमा सकूं और अपने परिवार को अच्छे से रख सकूं। ये मेरा पहला एम्बिशन है, क्योंकि अब मैं उनके लिए बेटी नहीं, उनका बेटा हूं, और मुझे उनके लिए ही कुछ करना है। दैट्स इट।
और आपको कभी ऐसा तो नहीं लगता कि शक्ति नहीं है या हिम्मत नहीं है? इन 9 सालों में आप में जबरदस्त हिम्मत रही है।
नहीं, वो तो ईश्वर का एक मेरे वरदान ही था कि मैं कैसे जिंदा रही और इतना स्ट्रगल किया। मैं जब सोचती हूँ तो खुद हैरान हो जाती हूँ। कुछ है जो मुझे अभी तक ये प्रेरणा देती रही है, और शायद मुझे यहाँ आना था, आप लोगों से मिलना था और इन डॉक्टरों से मिलना था, इस वजह से इतनी हिम्मत थी। और ये 9 साल मतलब शब्दों में एक्सप्लेन करना मेरे लिए बहुत ही मुश्किल है, बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, लेकिन जो कुछ ही होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है। ये मैं भगवान पे बहुत विश्वास रखती हूँ और मैं होप करती हूँ आगे मेरे साथ सब अच्छा ही हो। आप लोगों का आशीर्वाद रहे, दुआ रहे।
Anuranjan, the government of Jharkhand, even the union government so far did little for her. What do you expect of the government at this stage? What would you want the government to do for her?
Very honestly, I think what the government was supposed to have done years ago, they haven't done. So right now, just because she went and asked that, okay, I don't want to live anymore, it's become major news. But like this, where the money part is concerned, what I'd like to know is we need to know from the doctors, what is the figure we are looking at? We have a lot of friends who want to give in the money, but we want to just take what is necessary for her. We don't want to go overboard and say, okay, if the amounts are 20, 30, because even if they don't charge their own fees, there is going to be for medicines and hospital cares, post-operative, etc. And the government, all they can do besides keep the 50,000 with them is to ensure that they give her a job, like she says she wants to work, and to ensure that she lives a normal life after that, that she doesn't have to go and ask anyone for anything. So please, what we need to know is the kind of money we are looking at and what we need to collect as of right now, because that is very, very essential to get this treatment started, what we are talking of. This next 1 year depends on what we get to give to her to get started. So if we get that together, I'm sure a lot can happen faster and will happen. You know, so it's not just a conversation, it'll get into action mode instantaneously. And I also say, besides that, there are so many people there with acid attack, just because they didn't come out, they've got no help. You know, so we've got to do something about this. But let's get started with her, and
sure.
I'm sure we can do a lot more for so many more there.
Absolutely, and a strong legislation. I mean, as an aside, a strong legislation is very important, not just 10 years. Acid attackers should either be hanged or they should spend a life in jail. But coming back to the main point, Dr. Bagai, what kind of funds, as Anuranjan was saying, in this entire period are we looking at?
I think if you look at it in a systematic, stepwise manner, I think this this child would require about a 5 to 8 stage surgical repair over a period of approximately 12 to 15 months. I think as human beings, as doctors, we would be ready to render all possible support in more than a philanthropic manner to her. But skin grafts, surgical procedures, medication, ongoing costs, rehabilitation costs do take a little bit of expenses. And if you're looking at a total budget of approximately 12 to 15 months, including the post-op rehab period, you're looking at a rough ballpark figure of approximately 25 lakhs to bring her into a functional life. And I'm sure India is wide enough for people to come forward and support this. We are ready as doctors now and always, and Dr. Bhatt and his team have already constituted a wonderful, wonderful core team at BLK Super Speciality Hospital, and we will offer all possible assistance to give her a quality of life which she truly deserves. Just to reiterate, and Dr. Bhatt will bear me out, she has major facial reconstruction yet to be done. Her back, her arms, her lower part of her chest, her upper torso of her breast require reconstruction. Her ears have been severely damaged, so we need to reconstruct the ears internally and externally. She requires corneal transplants, so we would be arranging that. She requires major hair transplants and other sort of scalp surgeries. So it's an ongoing process which we've already instituted in a stepwise manner. This is what roughly we are envisaging as far as treatment and cost is concerned.
Okay.
सोनाली, एक नई उम्मीद है ये, और हम यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि ये सारी सर्जरी सोनाली सफल हो, आपको एक नया जीवन मिले और वो आपके लिए सुखदायक हो.
बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank all my guests, Dr. Bagai, Dr. Bhatt, Sonali, Chanidas ji and Anuranjan for joining me from Mumbai. This is one story we'll be tracking very closely. Let's now shift focus. Let's take you to Mumbai, and this looks like a story that's straight out of a Rajesh Khanna movie, only this plays out in his absence with all the bitterness and drama fit for the silver screen. On one side is Anita Advani, his partner for the last 8 years. On the other side is Rajesh Khanna's family, his superstar son-in-law and Dimple Kapadia. At the heart of all this is his legacy with a price tag of over 200 crore rupees. And here is how the story for Ashirwad unfolded.